Ever since I was little, I've had a passion for walking. Over the years, I've managed to discover some of the most beautiful and memorable parts of our wonderful country. I've been lucky enough to visit so many magical places, and now I'd love to share them with you. In this series, I'm taking you off to explore some of my favourite walks for all the family. Each one offers a manageable morning or afternoon stroll, gorgeous views, and a well-earned treat of a pub lunch or a picnic. So pull on your boots and join me, Julia Bradbury, on my best walks with a view. This week I'm in the magnificent Yorkshire Dales for a walk that encounters magical waterfalls and dramatic limestone pavements. I'm also finding out why this place has played a starring role in so many Hollywood blockbusters. My walk starts here in the quaint village of Malham. According to world-famous travel writer and former resident Bill Bryson, Malhamdale is the finest place there is. Walking here, you immediately feel taken in by village life. Funny to think that this tranquil village is visited over 1 million times a year and is so often overrun with film crews, all hoping to capture the Malhamdale landscape on the big screen. But before we head up to the famous Malham Cove, let's see what lies in store. Following the Malhambeck River out of the village, we'll reach a mystical hollow and our first waterfall, Janet's Foss. It's then on to the dramatic splendour of Goredale Scar, a great looming gorge carved out of the ancient limestone rock. From here we weave our way through upland fields towards Malham Cove's iconic limestone pavement, with a final glorious view across the Dales. And at the end of our walk, we'll be picking up a famous Malham pie. You know it's good when there's a pie to look forward to. Malham's such a beautiful spot, it's not hard to see how it's inspired so many. As we head out of the village, it's definitely worth popping your head into the local smithies. Although an age-old trade, the blacksmiths here offer something just a little different. Oh dear, step on the dog. Morning.
Good morning.
Hi Annabelle, hello. Good to see you hard at work, literally slaving over
Very
a hot
hot
coal.
yeah.
So how long have you been doing this?
Just over 8 years now.
Oh, and why and how?
I've not always been a blacksmith. Before this, I was a tax accountant, so a slight change from what I used to do. But I live in Malham, and when this building came up for lease, it was kind of an opportunity not to miss, really. I didn't intend to be a blacksmith.
And who are your customers, Annabelle?
I get a lot of passing trade, a lot of footfall. Malham's obviously a very busy area with people doing the Pennine Way and
Lots of
whatnot, like
walkers,
yourself.
yeah.
Lots of local trade as well, so doing things for people's houses. The odd tractor repair and quad bike repair.
Good work.
But mainly it's artistic blacksmithing.
And I know that Malham is it's a bit of a creative hub, isn't it? And it's been a draw for a long, long time for lots of people. So who are the famous clients that have come through the door?
Well, actually in the smithy we've had Betty Davis.
Hollywood superstar of note.
Yeah. And when they were filming Another Man's Poison in the Malhamdale area, she came in and bought something from Bill Wilde that was the blacksmith at the time.
Did she? Well, I'm going to have to leave with something then. If she had something, I'll have to have something. Right, what am I going to take with me? I need to take a little keepsake.
So to give you a little bit of something to keep you going along the journey, should you need to open a bottle. So with a ram's head on, so very much about the Dales.
I love that. That's great. Okay. All right, back to work, over that hot stove.
I'll get going.
We're back en route to Malham Cove, and this is where we take up the 268-mile Pennine Way. The Cove is a real highlight for those long-distance walkers, with walking legend Alfred Wainwright calling it the greatest natural feature on the whole Pennine Way. I don't know about the Pennine Way, I think it's one of the greatest natural features in the country, and it's just a couple of hours from here. Look at this. Oh, I'm just taking the geese for a walk, dear. Very cute. Daily occurrence?
Every other day.
Little wash and a bathe.
Wash, bathe and a good soak and that's it, they're happy.
I love it. We had a couple of geese when I was growing up, Toby and Quackers.
They were vicious. They used to pinch you right in the thigh there. I still remember it.
I can't speak for the geese, but the people here are just so warm and welcoming. You immediately feel taken in by village life and the surrounding scenery. So full of butterflies and buzzing bees. And that's thanks in part to the traditional hay meadows found here. For me, I just can't resist stopping to take in the sheer splendour of the colours and the creatures. Packed with up to 120 different species of wildflowers and plants, they're home to countless animals, insects, birds and bees. And in Malham, the meadows aren't the bees' only habitat. We're just entering the lush woodland of Janet's Foss. This is a library, the type of which you've never seen before. Hanging from the ash trees are bee-themed books. Part of an art and conservation project, the books have been converted into nests to help boost the number of solitary bees. They're curious little installations, aren't they? And very easy to miss. And they're not the only unusual thing in these woods. It seems a fairy once lived here as well. For years, people have been placing coins into fallen tree stumps, making wishes to Janet, the Queen of the Fairies, who, as legend has it, lived behind a waterfall just up ahead. An enchanted waterfall, intriguing art installations, and stories of fairies. It's all very dreamy. In fact, it's believed the famous children's author Charles Kingsley drew inspiration for his water babies and the Queen of the Fairies from here. Another creative type inspired by the landscape Malham offers up is renowned Yorkshire artist Catherine Holmes. Hello, sorry to interrupt your flow there. You're looking deep in an art moment.
Oh, it's a beautiful spot.
It is a very lovely spot. This area is a real draw for creatives and artists, isn't it?
Yes, this is, well, Turner, James Ward.
Yeah, to name just a few.
Yes. I'm from 3 generations of artists. So my grandmother painted here. They came just before the Second World War and settled in Malham. She was interested a lot in people working in the landscape. And of course I grew up with my mother's painting as well.
So it's in the blood. No real surprise to find you here.
I don't think so. No. I think it was meant to be.
Have you painted Janet's Foss?
Just done some drawing there.
Well, that's where I'm heading next. My next
Oh, it's
target.
Beautiful. You'll love it. It's a beautiful spot.
Thank you.
You'll hopefully see a dipper.
Good luck with that painting. It looks lovely.
Thank you.
We're nearing a clearing in the woods now, and that sounds like the waterfall. Look at that. It's just magical, isn't it? So this is Janet's Foss, Foss being the Nordic word for waterfall. This stunning plunge pool was formed by the falls, and the humid lime-rich water helped to create a fragile screen of spongy moss. I feel like taking off all my clothes and jumping in there. Which obviously I won't do, but that's what I want to do. It's the kind of thing you could come across in the middle of a jungle in Indonesia or somewhere. No wonder it's been painted so many times. Coming up, I'm going to leave the magic of the woodlands behind me and head towards the dramatic limestone wonders of the Dales. We're now almost 2 miles into our Yorkshire Dales walk, and I love it here, surrounded by these gorgeous rolling hills. So far, Malham has been charm personified, but now we're heading to the ominously named Goredale Scar. A place that's made grown men shudder with its limestone magic.
are the welcoming committee. Hi, Chris.
Hiya.
How you doing?
Very good, thank
If
you.
ever there was a man who would know what's going on around here, it's you.
The sheer drama of the Scar has inspired many a storyteller, and Chris Wildman, the local butcher and parish council chairman, has the in on all the tales spun in these parts.
You're a bit of a star yourself in these parts, aren't you? The Dales, one man in his camper van. Are you sort of heading for Hollywood? Is that the idea?
Well, I doubt it somehow, but no, there's been loads of things filmed around here, actually, and not just with me, but there's been some great things filmed here. The Gordale where we're heading is inspiration from Tolkien for in Lord of the Rings for Helm's Deep.
Yeah.
We've had Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. That was
Quite
filmed
recent,
here
yeah.
very recently, yeah, which was a great one.
There's a real draw, isn't there, to Malham? A real pull.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, and it's not just been that. There's been loads before that, you know, art, literature, and obviously all the Hollywood blockbusters like Harry Potter at Malham Cove.
Yeah.
They had a helicopter with this huge camera on it, absolutely massive, biggest camera I've ever seen.
Gordale Scar has got quite the reputation, hasn't it?
It has. It's just so atmospheric, and you know, as you sort of walk into it, it opens up into this fantastic area. It's really brilliant.
Are you going to come with me?
Well, no, I think I'm going to let you experience it yourself.
Ooh.
So I don't know. Maybe you could take some of our Yorkshire chorizo with you to keep you going.
I love that. A sausage to keep me company.
And,
Local chorizo. It really
Absolutely.
is. Yorkshire chorizo. I've never come across that before.
Yeah.
Chris, thank you very much.
No problem.
I'm a happy
Have a good
woman.
trip.
Thank you.
Cheers. Bye.
I think this is it.
So this is Gordale Scar. This is what all the noise is about. What a beast of rock.
A 400-foot deep chasm. It's like a castle raised up and out of the rock bed. Formed by torrents of glacial meltwater, this huge limestone gorge was carved deeper and deeper throughout the ice ages, over thousands of years. Some geologists believe that it was once a great underground cavern that eventually collapsed to create the giant gorge and waterfall that we see today.
I feel as if all this overhanging limestone is really closing in on me. You can see why it's been the inspiration for so many stories of wizardry and sorcery. This really is an assault on the senses. If you look into the jagged rock face, you start to make out faces and shapes. And then you close your eyes, and the sound of that water, I feel as though I could be at the foot of Niagara Falls, not this fiddly little thing. And the wind whistling through the gorge is quite something. Now there is another way out of here, up and over. Normally, of course, I would take that more difficult route, but I've got the crew in tow, so I'll stick to the footpath.
The landscape on this walk changes so dramatically, from huge, overpowering limestone wonders to the gentle lushness of the surrounding dales. I think we're in need of a cuppa.
You must be Carol. Heard all about you, Carol. A local legend for your tea.
Yeah, has it been a bit chilly up
Yeah, a
there?
little bit. It's quite sort of
Yeah.
dark and oppressive there, the scar.
Has it?
Very lovely.
Blows down the scar there.
Thank you.
For the wind.
Is it true that you're open almost every day of the year?
Almost. Even Boxing Day.
Really?
Yes. The
Gosh, you
week
must be
between.
a hardy lady.
Yeah, the cold is the worst bit of the job. Otherwise, I love it.
I bet. Any famous visitors?
Kane, that is Kane from Emmerdale.
Ah, okay.
He came camping.
Anyone else?
Bear Grylls came.
Quite near.
Yeah.
I like it. You're like the spotter.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for the tea, Carol.
It's a pleasure.
Take care. Stay warm.
You too.
We're just about to start our climb towards the cove. Time for a little gentle uphill strolling. As you gain height, you can't help but notice the crisscross of dry stone walls winding their way across the dales. With over 5,000 miles of them, they're at the heart of what makes this landscape so distinctive. Stone from local quarry pits was used to help create these walls and divide up the land.
Oh, great view of them from here. That's what makes the Dales the Dales.
One of the oldest man-made features, with some dating back to the Bronze Age, the walls are built without using mortar or cement. Rocks are pieced together like a jigsaw, but it takes years to hone this craft. And the tradition is very much alive and well today. Someone who's kept it going is former Dale's child star Will Wildman.
Hello, how you doing?
That's about, thanks.
Good. You're about 2 decades too young to be doing this, Will.
There's lots of young wallers around. You just struggle finding them, really. There's a lot more older ones, obviously. With the average age of farming being quite high, it's just hard to find them.
But what's the trick of making a wall like this stand? I mean, a good wall should stay standing for what, 100 years?
Well, yeah, if you're lucky.
If you're lucky.
Yeah, if you're lucky, I would say. Yeah, just width and keeping a good course.
So is it like Jenga? If I pull one of these out, is the whole thing going to come tumbling down?
Well, it depends if it's got any weight. If it's been built well, then yeah, it should do. But if it's been built badly and there's no weight on the stone, then it probably would fall down, yeah.
Do you actually enjoy it?
Yeah, I mean, on a day like today, there's no better job.
Well, I shall leave you to it.
Thank you very much. Yeah. See you later.
See you, Will. Oh, I know what I want to ask you. The Dales. What do you think of all this television stuff, the filming and...
Rather you than me. Yeah, definitely. No, definitely rather you than me.
Good answer. See you, Will.
See you later.
Thank you.
We're now heading towards Sheriff Hill with its ancient Iron Age settlements and Bronze Age burial cairn. It feels like we're on top of a mountain, not within the gentle slopes of the Dales.
There it is. The star of the show.
There are a couple of ways to reach the cove. Climbing directly up the 260-foot sheer rock face. Highlining 1,000 feet across the open cove. Not recommended. Or the traditional Walker's Trail.
I know which way I'm going.
Increasingly worn by the thousands of boots walking along it every year, this limestone pavement, this seemingly lunar landscape, was created during the last ice age, some 10,000 years ago. Covered by ice sheets and glaciers, the ice stripped away the soil above the limestone, exposing the weak rock to the elements. This allowed rainwater to seep into the cracks and dissolve them, creating great gaps or grikes with their own microclimate or habitat for plant life. It makes for a bit of a jigsaw to cross, but it's certainly a lot of fun. I can see how it was fit for the wizarding world of Mr. Potter. You might have spotted this pavement in the Hollywood blockbuster Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. But in fact, it was completely digitally recreated for the big screen.
The word in the valley is that the cast didn't even put a toe down on the pavement. Not a pinky. What a waste. Don't know what they were missing.
Being here, it really does feel like you're on a giant film set.
You simply can't fail to be impressed by the sheer scale and drama of this incredible natural amphitheatre.
And more than an amphitheatre, when the ice sheet melted, this colossal cliff was also a giant, glorious, cascading waterfall, which helped carve out the valley below.
I'm coming down.
He's not got far.
A walk that includes beautiful waterfalls, fairies, and a giant geological limestone masterpiece. My cup runneth over. And there's even a melon pie. Cue the pie. Oh. Thanks, Vince. Look at that. Tasty. That'll do.
Famous melon pie.
Beautiful. Thank you very much.
Very welcome.
I'm sure I will.